catching on the advertising side or the performance side is AI Asset Studio, because it helps a lot of way. One is it reduces image generation, and then as like product images to be edited,
and voiceovers as well, I guess,
as well, and then something on the resizing as well. So you can upload a video and then cross device sizes like vertical, horizontal, and all it'll be doing, and then it optimized for the YouTube's regulations like ABCD, like consideration and this driving traffic and all. So it's a tool that's going to help advertisers to make their life easy on the assets, creatives, where it's going to be easily create and placement wise. You don't need to work with your creative designers and then voiceovers. If you shoot one video, then use the Asset Studio to play around with it.
You can create multiple different assets, basically.
It's covering all the inventories on Google, from maps to discovery to apps to display network to YouTube. That's overall this. What's going to happen is this is a feature that is inside the Google Merchant Center, same as Asset Studio, but I hope it all come in one place very soon. Level that you can choose the channel where you wanted to display YouTube or Gmail or Maps. So Maps was recently launched, so different channels you can choose. Right? So if you are missing out your past data, it can be Meta ad or TikTok ad or Google ad. You can create any amount of ad account. It's free, right? So you go and create and put the card and start running. But what about your past historical data? Looking at as on the point of performance marketing or digital marketing, if you have your past data in any of that platform or any of the analytics platform, which would help you to do better, right?
Definitely.
Looking at what you have done and what is missing, understanding it, and then putting up a new strategy would help you, right? So don't create new if it is there. Try to as a best practice. Again, we were coming into that, right? So if you're creating new, have a centralized, as you said, have a different platform by email address or have a centralized. It's up to the brands and the agency who are going to work. But again, handing over like to an agency, to another agency, or to a brand, to going into another, this thing, your past data is gold. The data is gold always.
Hello. Welcome to Performance Spot by APIDM, Asia Pacific Institute of Digital Marketing. So what we are going to do here, we are going to discuss about different topics related to performance marketing, because if you look at the global market, performance marketing is not something new, right? And also we have some really good performance marketers here in Sri Lanka, some very talented, amazing performance marketers. But if you look at the companies and brands, we can see a bit of gap when it comes to the global context and the local scene. So we identified that gap. We wanted to start that discussion, and we started Performance Spot. And the plan is to have this podcast every week, fingers crossed. And the other thing is, we will try to bring some amazing, talented performance marketers to our podcast and discuss some really valuable and also some interesting topics together and share their knowledge with you all. And again, this is not another lecture, not another interview, not another webinar. So this is just a casual discussion with two different performance marketers. So we need your help. You can share this podcast with your circle, with your friends, with your colleagues. That will help us to do this continuously. And the other thing is, if you have any questions, some topics to be discussed in the podcast, please send them. That will help us to do this continuously and consistently and bring some really good discussions to the podcast. And today we have a very special guest, someone with 15 plus years experience in the industry, very talented, amazing performance marketer, our very own Jathu Kulan from 3P Media. Jathu, what's going on? What's up?
Going on day-to-day life, work, and then family life. That's
nice.
And work life is a lot of things are happening, a lot of new updates, a lot of exciting things are happening around. Things are fastly changing around AI, and a lot of things were changing. We can see it. The industry is adopting. As you mentioned earlier, we're having a bit of gap, and that's what we are here, try to bring that gap down.
Exactly.
Doing good, man.
Any special projects or updates,
Right. Well, I would say the latest update is iPhone 17, right? Day before yesterday.
But nothing.
That's usual from iPhone 7, 8. It's the same as coming in, right? But remember, the privacy is increased. Like so the Apple iPhone is becoming, iOS is becoming more privacy and more secure. So they are taking care of their users.
Because do you remember Meta has to introduce conversion API just because of iOS, right?
Yeah, so but again, this change or this adoption that came in is more to control by the platforms. That I mean, the advertising platform is going to be struggling, and the performance marketer is going to struggle a lot. So that's one of the things that if you ask me what is happening, what is demanding or what is being needs to be looked by the performance marketer today is the privacy side of it. It's not Apple only. Around the world, things are changing on the performance marketing wise.
And Jathu, before we move into our main topic, the key topic, so I would like to discuss some, the major updates we have seen during the past couple of weeks.
Right.
So one of the important updates actually was the Google's what you call
AI
the name?
AI
Asset Studio. Yeah, exactly.
There are few down the line. It came in a couple of weeks. But, like one of the eye-catching on the advertising side or the performance side is AI Asset Studio, because it helps a lot of way. One is it reduces image generation, and then as like product images to be edited,
and voiceovers as well, I guess.
As well, and then something on the resizing as well. So you can upload a video and then cross device sizes like vertical, horizontal, and all it'll be doing. And then it optimized for the YouTube's regulations like ABCD, like consideration and this driving traffic and all. So it's a tool that's going to help advertisers to make their life easy on the assets, creatives, where it's going to be easily create and placement wise. You don't need to work with your creative designers and then voiceovers. If you shoot one video, then use the Asset Studio to play around with it.
You can create multiple different assets. Basically.
It's covering all the inventories on Google. From maps to discovery to apps to display network to YouTube. That's overall this thing.
Jathu, I personally tried out the image generator, product image generator. That was amazing. That was perfect for me. I don't know, like, if you put something like, an image with very detailed features, probably you will get something else. But for me, that worked really well, because I was trying to create product shots using different AI tools. Because, for my PMAX campaigns, we need multiple different images, because with different backgrounds to optimize our campaigns, right? So every time I had to contact the graphic department or the designer to generate. That takes time, right?
So when you're talking about the product images, only one of the things I wanted to bring out. This Asset Studio was a big, I would say it's a it's a big release. They are going to be, it's going to come inside the merchant center. So the people who are running e-commerce sites and all, one of the hardest thing is shooting products. Let's say a person selling a mobile devices or beauty products or dresses, they have to shoot, they have to hire a photography and design
models
and
yeah.
So right now what is going to happen is, this is a feature that is inside the Google Merchant Center, same as Asset Studio, but I hope it all come in one place very soon, right? So same kind of Asset Studio is there in the Merchant Center also. What you can do is, from your inventory feed, your product images comes in, and then you can go and prompt, change the background, have a, say, let's say Black Friday offer, change it to the Black Friday theme or something like that. And the beauty is, you don't need a high-end quality cameras and all. You take a picture of your product and upload it to your inventory, and then from the product feed, the Merchant Center have the facility of kind of Asset Studio when you said about product images and all. So it's again same, at the end it's all connect back to the creative assets of the campaigns. So it's going to be rounded back to the creatives and different placements and all.
Actually, I tried out different other tools as well for product image generation to create different backgrounds, as I said earlier. But the thing was, like, when you try to create different variations, so first you have to upload your product shot, so then write a prompt and generate the output. But if you look at the output, you will not get the exact product image, right? If you look at the small features and some details,
it will
probably you will get something else, right? So that was the issue. But I tried out this new tool that worked really well, right? That worked really well.
So it's everything is on a start of the process, right? AI, all those things. Maybe, I mean, we will come up to I saw, like, from the new product, Google Banana.
Nano Banana.
So from there, it's if you see the detail that is coming out in the market right now, Google's AI tools are leading on some way, not on the LLMs, on the question and answer type, but on the production, on the product wise,
the video, graphics,
those kind of things, they are ahead. Like inside the emails, like Gmail have the best automated, and it understand so on the AI side, Google is driving towards a different path. They are helping inside each product. If you see the Google Sheets, it have the facility of AI integration. So different angle they are moving towards.
Exactly. Do we have any other updates, Jathu, on your mind?
There are few updates, not recently. Few on the Google Ads side, right? Few, I would say, Google Marketing Live 2025, a couple of months back, right? There are few that came in, like one is called AI Max. It's not a campaign, it's a enablement inside the search campaign. And then the Performance Max.
I think most of the advertisers, they search for the exact campaign format.
It's a AI Max is it's a all campaign type, like we used to call it as dynamic search
assets.
It have been named in a new way. In between, sometime back, it was called as Search Max, and then finally it came as AI Max. Most of the in the industry, it have been understand wrongly as a AI Max as a campaign type. Actually, it's not a campaign type, it's a toggle inside the search campaign. So what it does is, it's automatically, almost you need to give the signals of keyword, that keyword targeting remains, and then from your landing pages, from your website content, it grabs and creates content accordingly to the user intent, from headlines to descriptions to landing page, based on the user intent. Say for an example, how I can put it up is a passenger who is going to fly with his pet to a country, What happened is if he search the policies to take a pet, if he having an intent of flying and he have booked or something, he's checking about a policy. There will be ad will pop up whoever sells the pet bag or something, carrying pet bag. So that advance it's coming in. So that's where this AI Max comes in. So that's one of the core updates, I would say.
Yeah, Jathu. So when it comes to Google's AI initiatives, I think the first thing they need to do is, break that myth, because most advertisers, they don't believe actually the automated suggestions and the recommendations and the different stuff related to AI when it comes to Google, right?
Yeah.
So I think probably this will be a good start, so now because earlier I didn't have that much of faith in terms of AI features from Google, but with this new update, this new tool, now I have some kind of a hope. I think the most important thing when it comes to optimizations, the adoption, probably it's a bit of not something very simple, because that associate with the context as well. Because the business context is different. If you look at another business and let's say we have two different businesses, they are selling the same product, but still the context is different.
True.
Right? So it's really hard to identify and cater something very customized to the different businesses. So I think that was the struggle, right?
And then when you say about this AI revolution, AI and Google's this thing, so what happens is the releases or everything comes with Google Ads and campaigns. So one of the main problem from 2021 Performance Max started, it's almost kind of an AI innovation campaign type, and then things came in. But this 2025 Q1, from Google side, the control over the AI have been grown very well.
Agreed.
Today's release, day before yesterday, we had a Google Think Retail, which is for the Black Friday and all. So one of the key updates, I have been seeing few accounts that have been rolled out on a beta version. One of the key things that most of the brands wanted with this AI suggestions, AI automations and assets auto creations and all, one of the things is control, right? So we were asking about control of negative keywords, control of the landing pages where it lands, and etc. But the latest update, today's update, one of the key updates is controlled on the text assets and what the messaging is going on. So what a brand can do is, so you can go and define your brand color, brand logo and all those things. With latest updates, if you ask me, a text control, what happens is you can go and tell the tone that you wanted. Say for an example, if you are selling a luxury brand on a Performance Max, you can go and restrict and say, I don't want it to put cheap keyword. On my text or on my ad copy, don't use cheap, right? So that much control is coming in also. Then the visibility also coming in, your control. So how my clicks are happening, which landing page have created, which combination of headings, which combination of description have created. So one side AI wise assets and optimization happening, one side it gives you the control also. Like in the advertising platforms, that is very important, because it's not like small brands. When it comes to bigger brands, they care about what the wording's going on. I don't want cheap keyword. I'm not serving for this customer. I don't want this text to be. I don't want this competitor names to be displayed on my ads. One of the biggest problem is a competitor campaign is sometimes people put up a dynamic keyword insertion. So what happens is when someone searches with a competitor name that comes in, it can go up to the legal wise also. So now you can go and tell it on the text control, don't use XYZ competitor names. So that level controls are coming inside.
I think that's the same way we work with, when you work with custom GPTs and
Right.
custom, the cloud projects,
Yeah.
probably you have to provide the context,
Yeah.
right, and as the knowledge base and guide the AI to produce what you want based on your context, right? So yeah, that's the thing. Like if we can provide the context to the platform, that's the only thing we want. Like then we can guide them through our guidelines and our preferences, our restrictions, right? Because I think one of the, like if you look at the multinational brands and some key brands, they have multiple different restrictions when it comes to advertising, very critical restrictions, right? You cannot avoid them. Like you cannot just ignore them and advertise, right? Probably like sometimes they will send like updates and different things related to their advertising, the limitations and everything, but like if you are going to work with a brand like that, probably like you cannot rely on AI generated the automations and the AI generated assets just because of that, right? But if you can provide the context, a controlled version of your AI suggestions, right? So probably that will sort out the issue. That will be a really good improvement.
And one thing is, when the start of the question you were discussing about the Google's AI, how the AI is going to be, and then the campaign types also working together. So they have come up with a power pack. It's a 3 campaign combination. So that is, one is search with AI Max switched on, and then the performance max and the demand gen. So how it works is, it find the users who have an intent, those who have already know the problem, and the performance max will work on the conversion, people who are ready to buy or generate leads, and then demand gen will create the demand. Say demand gen is the one new campaign type that came in, but it came up very well. It comes up to a very control level that you can choose the channel where you wanted to display, YouTube or Gmail or Maps. So Maps was recently launched, so different channels you can choose on. So you create demand and you create the people who already know and people who wanted to convert. So these works in combination, and that's how the AI things and Google Ads is going towards.
Exactly. Jathu, let's move into our topic of the day. So basically, like so there are some very technical topics as well, but we wanted to start with something very basic, right? Basic but important.
Yes, sure.
Right. So the last week I had a call with one of my friends.
Okay.
Right. So they changed their agency.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Right, and they lost the ad account access as well.
Right. Okay.
Right, so no data, nothing, like everything. So they now they don't have access. I'm not talking about a startup, or medium scale business. I'm talking about something like enterprise level business.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter like whether you have a small business or very large scale business. Everyone does this, right? This mistake, basically, right? So
how to put it in is like, you have an agency for running a meta ads, you have an agency for running a tracking setup, you have an agency for Google Ads. So each of them on their own, they create the account, ad account, and they run it. So as a brand or as an agency best practice, certain things that on a point of performance marketing or digital marketing on the digital world, everything needs to be centralized.
Exactly.
I would say you have a dedicated email for it, say marketing@xyz.com, right? Marketing at APIDM.com. That APIDM follows the best practice, as I have seen, right? You get everything in under one email, and access will be shared from admin level. So how you do it is create one email address for your marketing purposes or digital marketing purposes, and then from there branch it on. Say if you wanted to create a Facebook Business Manager, then TikTok Business Manager, then Google side, you have your different products. say where it comes is for Meta and other platforms, if you have an email address, you go and register and do it.
Sure.
But on the Google side, what happens is some doesn't have a Google workspace. That means you can't use Gmail and other products like Merchant Center, Google Tag Manager. So you might having a Microsoft email address or something, right? So what you do is at that time you go and create another Gmail address, and then you can connect each other. That's one way. Or you can create a Google account with your domain email address, and then you create all the Google products, Merchant Center or Google Ads or Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics. Then it's centralized, and then other thing is like Shopify or Klaviyo or HubSpot. Everything needs to be on single email. Why I'm telling is, say if you wanted to connect your Meta lead center with your HubSpot CRM, if it is on the same email, when you click, its connection is going to be easy. And then inside the Google Ads also, you wanted to connect your CRM, then it's easy. And then Shopify linking your pixel, it's one click. If you have everything in centralized catalogs or your product feeds going to the Merchant Center, everything is one email address. You have one email address for Merchant Center, one email address for Shopify. It's going to be hell lot of problems. So as a best practice, have everything one email address. Plan accordingly how your structure going to be, account, then brands. Say how I normally take it as Google Analytics wise, you can have one account and then you can have multiple properties. For an example, say a group of companies, a company that have group of properties like different businesses, they will have different properties and different Google Ads account, and then different pages for Meta, different TikTok accounts, and then different Instagram accounts. So it's under one roof. It's similar to Meta My Business, so Meta Business suite, and then same as Google accounts. So you have a Google Ads will have an MCC similar to Meta Business, and then everything is on centralized. So make sure that you have it on centralized place. And then if you are working with an agency, as a brand, you create this and then give access to the agency. Or the agencies, make sure that you go to the brand and then create centralized,
rather than owning accounts. So the thing is, Jathu, one thing to add when it comes to using one single email address for each and every property, I think you can do it for different platforms as you mentioned. But as an example, let's say if you want to log into your business manager account, business portfolio account, right? Facebook Meta Business Portfolio or your Google Ads account. So I think the best practice will be using your personal or work email. Different for different users, different email addresses, because otherwise they will recognize, right, when you use the same email address from different locations, right, probably there is a chance to get restricted your account. I'm not talking about the ones you mentioned, right, the ad accounts and some sensitive properties maybe, right? So sometimes you need to have different email addresses, just because we had that experience actually, right? So some of our accounts, right, so we use the same email address, right, to log into the ad accounts. I think that was like XO TikTok ad accounts. I couldn't remember the platform, right? Just because of the location changes, you use and the most important thing is when you update your payment methods, that's really important. If you use a card, right, registered under another country, right, and if you are going to use it in Sri Lanka or whatever the country,
Google Ads will go for a suspension.
Definitely. That's really important, right? Sometimes they share, the thing is, when you onboard a new client, or if you are going to hire a new agency, everyone wants to start something, execute something without following the proper process. Right? So they don't have so they wanted from the agency side, they want to close the deal and show something to the client. And the client from their end, they usually want to start something and show, get some results. So that's the thing. Yeah,
one of the things is if you the data, right?
Yeah.
So if you are missing out your past data, it can be Meta ad or TikTok ad or Google ad, you can create any amount of ad account. It's free, right? So you go and create and put the card and start running. But what about your past historical data? Looking at as on the point of performance marketing or digital marketing, if you have your past data in any of that platform or any of the analytics platform, which would help you to do better, right?
Definitely.
Looking at what you have done and what is missing, understanding it, and then putting up a new strategy would help you, right? So don't create new if it is there. Try to as a best practice. Again, we were coming into that, right? So if you're creating new, have a centralized, as you said, have a different platform by email address or have a centralized. It's up to the brands and the agency who are going to work. But again, handing over like to an agency, to another agency, or to a brand, to going into another, this thing, your past data is gold. The data is gold always. So make sure that you will able to grab them and look at them with a new agency. Then don't since it's free, don't create new pages, new Google Analytics account, install it. I have seen like in a website there will be 4 analytics data stream codes, right? I don't understand what, maybe there might be reasons to have four data streams, but again, but it's the same data you can utilize in different ways.
Right, completely 100% Jathu. So I think like, when it comes to the platforms and, onboarding a client, as you said, the data is really important, right? I think with all the data and, if you can do a proper account audit, that will help you a lot, right? Like, identify what went wrong in the past, and also the successful campaigns and the insights. Definitely that will help, because we will not do the same mistake again in the future, right? But most of the advertisers, like most of the brands and everyone, they try to build something based on their assumptions, right? Just without just looking at the past results, right? Because they think they hired us because the other company or the past agency did something wrong, right? So then if we are going to do the same thing, like, just start with our very own approach, right? Let's take a new approach. But to take a new approach, you have to look at past data. So when I get a new account, right, probably you cannot do this with, if you are going to work with a completely new client, just started, like, a very new business, right? You cannot, probably they don't have any past campaigns or something like that. But if you are going to work with a brand, right, so if they have past campaigns,
right,
I think the most important, the first thing you need to do is an account audit.
Yeah, so right. on the account audit, it's different to platforms how you do, right?
Yeah.
So in analytics wise, one of the first things on any analytics tools, it can be Adobe Analytics, or it can be Google Analytics, it can be there are few, right, Platinum, or there are a lot of analytics, right? So how the setups being, what are the things being tracked, whether the tracking is working. One of the things is the data is being collected. You can use different audit tools, different mechanism to check whether the data is being passed to the analytics tools. One of the things, and then maybe a bit of cross-checking with the inventory. Maybe, say for an example, inventory in the sense on a lead side with the CRM, whether the lead numbers are matching for a past data, like last 28 days, whether the leads is matching with my CRM, on a e-commerce side, whether my purchase numbers
attribution health,
attribution health and all data. And then there are debug methods within the analytics platforms nowadays. That's on the analytics side. And then one of the things on most of the ad platforms is, right now we talked about AI and all, the main important things is the objective is not set it out, say whether, first of all, why you are running the Google ads or Meta ads or TikTok ads, whatever the ads you wanted to run, how you need to check is whether you have your objective. If you are having a lead generation as your objective of your ad running in any platform, is that objective being set up there? Whether from downloading browser to asking a request demo or sales request, whatever it is, price request or leads. On the purchase side, whether you have your add to cart, product view, purchase, these things are there on the platforms, right? Say on the Meta side, do you have your pixel in, right? Without pixel, without having a pixel, you don't go on an advanced KPIs, server-side tracking. These all are like advanced. Do the basics. Collect the data. Right? So I'm running a sales campaign, but I have an e-commerce site, I'm running a sales campaign, but if you go there on that platform, how many purchases happen, we can't see. Right? How we are tracking it in another platforms, we are getting it sales, right? So with the AI updates and automations, things and all, if you are not sending the signals to the ad platforms, the conversions are happening, purchases are happening, right? Then the platforms won't work, right? If you're not using. So one first audit is whether the objective is clear, whether the objective is set it up, whether the objective is active. All the platforms have these statuses: inactive, active, working or not. Right?
The technical side, probably you can, check it later. The first thing you have to look at the existing set of campaigns and the assets and the targeting and everything. Because I think like the audit is not something limited to the technical side.
Yeah, true.
Right? So it covers everything, like, from your audiences to assets to the structure, the campaign structure. That's really important.
True.
Right? Because maybe because of the structure, you will get lower results. Right? So you have budget, but you don't, if you don't have an idea about how to structure your campaigns, right? What are the campaign formats that you are going to launch, right? Okay. A correct set of the portfolio, right? Probably you will miss your opportunities. So that's something we can look at, when it comes to the audit, right? So but the thing is, because of that, everyone wants to start everything, right? And they are in a hurry, they will miss that part, right? So because sometimes that's something from the brand and company side as well. So there should be a small time period to test,
learning and
learn. So
maybe when you talk about targeting and creative side of it, so you choosing that platform is one of the key essential, right? So how you choose that platform, right? Whether sometimes your targeting audience decide the platform that they are in, right? Sometimes for conversions you might need to use LinkedIn. Sometimes your brand awareness needs to happen on Facebook, Instagram, and then intent based mid of the funnel needs to be on the Google ads. That's all becomes on the personas targeting. As you said, go and check where you are targeting, what placements you are trying out, whether you are going towards the audience that you wanted, whether am I correctly targeting based on the funnel that I'm bringing in, and then your past data is one of the things, your analytics data, where are your conversions happening, where are your people are coming in, which channels are coming in. Sometimes you will have a brand awareness campaign that is the target audience won't be there, right? And then sometimes I have seen like a few brands and few clients that I work on a daily basis. So what I notice is what happens is you run a brand awareness campaign, right? But you will expect a purchase, right? Or you will expect so sometimes defining the KPIs, measurement plans, that is one of the key essential on the performance marketing wise.
That's really important, Jathu, because that's a common issue actually. I think marketers struggles a lot, like because of that reason, because when you brief your campaign, there will be an objective for sure, but end of the campaign period they will expect something else, right? Like as an example, if you were like the initial objective, let's say reach, right, awareness, but end of the campaign period they will ask where are my the reactions and where are my the comments and the engagement. But there should be an agreement between both the parties, like before we start. Otherwise that will be a waste, like then again from the next campaign onwards, then the agents, they will try to get everything, like
try to get everything. So when you do the audit, sometimes it's like this. So platforms have its own campaign types and objective types. You choose a objective and then you expect a result, right? So you need to be very careful. So sometimes objective will be brand awareness and the optimization will be selected for a purchase. So it happens, right? It doesn't work like that. If your campaign type is brand awareness, then it won't work for the purchase objective. So campaign types works for each customer journey, I would say. And then you have the measurement that you're going to optimize. Say you can't go and have a cost per acquisition, target cost per acquisition for a brand awareness campaign. You select the campaign type brand awareness and then you go for a target CPA, which is wrong. So that is on the audit. You need to find out whether the campaign settings, if you wanted to continue the campaigns that is already there, and then if you are running for a consideration, you need to check on your landing pages, landing screens or mobile apps,
100%.
whatever where you are landing it, whether am I bringing the correct audience, whether they are bouncing, whether they are closing immediately, whether they are going to product or product informations on a lead site.
Track their journey.
It's about beyond the advertising platforms also, they need to be checked. So audit is one, but when we discussed on onboarding or changing between brand and agency changing or something like that, right? So I would say have a measurement framework, right? So on our advanced performance marketing course, one of the module is focus. I think we cover that on almost 2.5, 3 hours. I used to cover that. So we frame it properly on the measurement plan, right? Each and every module have cover that, right? How we from creative messaging from each channel. So what messaging needs to go, what objective needs to carry. So it's a framework that you need to put it up. So you audit, you redefine that framework, right? And then then by auditing it, if you have the framework, you go back and change or decide whether you wanted to create a new one or not. If you are freshly starting, it's fine. Define the objective for each channel, go with the framework.
Because sometimes we can see some major website, the main companies, right? Still we cannot see the meta pixel installed on their website, the very basic thing, the GFO, right?
True.
Probably you can use an extension and see all the text. So you can, like, there are some major main website without having, they spend sometimes thousands to build the website, but CAPI or the pixel, it's free. You can just follow some simple process and simple steps and install it. That's it.
When it comes to these tracking pixels and GFO, any tools and all, it's one because most of the sites doesn't put it, and then most of the site what they does is they put it in the wrong places also. You can't track personal data. That is one, have to be very careful, privacy policy. And then I think the regulatory bodies on different countries restrict it, the privacy policy. So I have to be very careful. You need to have a concern mode.
Jathu, sorry to disturb you. Shall we take this topic to the next episode? I think that's something really interesting, because that's a big topic, right? And also the conversion tracking, the privacy, and the tracking fundamentals. I think that will be a good topic for the next episode. For sure, right?
Privacy is going on, and then performance marketers going to struggle a lot.
Exactly.
So we have to take it as a separate on that.
Yeah.
On a bigger topic, we'll take this
Exactly, yes.
Conversion tracking, having pixels, having tracking code, and then privacy, having a concern of tracking it, how the rules and regulatory bodies works, how the platforms work, how the browsers work, all these things in another topic, and then how that affects the performance marketers. And it's a good chat that we had it on a performance podcast, and then we will catch up on another episode on exploring on the performance marketing and whatnot, right? We will look into what are the new things and what are the best practices, what are the things a performance marketer need to carry out on a day-to-day or on a regular basis on his work life or learning career. Let's catch up on another video. For a performance marketer on a day-to-day, what he have to do and what he have to learn, what are the new things on performance marketing, all these things we're gonna discuss on coming episode. See you guys on another episode of Performance Podcast.